Fulham nil, West Ham 1. Three absolutely massive points that we desperately needed. Unfortunately, Forest did actually draw against Man City as well, but we can't do much about that. That's a really good result for them, to be honest. All we could do was win our game. And for a second, at the beginning of the game, it looked like we wouldn't. And we'll get into that. But they are some huge points. Doesn't quite get us out of the relegation zone. We were out of it for 14 minutes, I think it was. Since the start of December, we've been in the relegation zone. So to be out of it for at least 14 minutes felt fantastic. But massive points. And it puts us level on points with Forest, who have to then go and play Fulham. We obviously play City. But some serious talking points from that game. The first one was in the first 5 or 10 minutes with the corner that we had that hit Iwobi. Now, do I just not understand the rules of football anymore? I think I must not understand the rules of football, because that is quite potentially the most blatant handball I've ever seen. Now, a couple of points. His hand is quite clearly in an unconventional position. It's not in a natural position. He's lifting it up. He's moving towards the ball with the arm. Then there's this whole t-shirt line thing. I don't even know what the rule is anymore. Whether it hits his t-shirt line or not. It hits his bicep. You're not allowed to use your bicep. As far as I'm aware, you're not allowed to use your bicep in football. And he literally stops the ball with his bicep. VAR look at it and decide it's not a penalty. Some of the decisions recently in the Premier League have been diabolical. We saw it in the Chelsea-Arsenal game at the weekend. We saw a terrible one in the Leeds game yesterday as well. They should have had a stonewall penalty. And I was watching the rest of that game seething, thinking if we didn't win, we would have been absolutely robbed. Absolutely robbed. Luckily, we did end up getting the goal, and we'll talk about that goal because Summerville took it fantastically. Yes, it was a mistake from Leno, of course, but he took it so well. The little shimmy to get the defender past him and across him, and then to coolly finish it, slot it past. Unbelievable. He was really good, I thought. He put some really nice balls in. There was one where I think we had 3 players in the box. We had Bowen, we had Wilson, we had Souček, and none of them could get a touch on it, frustratingly. But he was really good once again. He just gets the ball and makes things happen with it. He's so different to a load of wingers in the Premier League at these top clubs, like a Trossard, like a Martinelli, who essentially get the excitement coached out of them. He actually gets on the ball and just has license to do whatever with it. He just jinks so quickly. He moves his feet so fast. He must be so difficult to defend. And I thought he had a really good game. A lot of players did have a good game, to be honest. Summerville had a great game. I thought Bowen played really well as well. Taty Castellanos, he is a beast. He runs his socks off for the first minute to the 90th minute. Today he came off a bit early. He looked like he was limping a little bit. Hopefully that's not bad because we need him. He puts so much effort in. He will give you 150% the whole time he's on the pitch. And today, he actually looked like he had a bit more quality as well. I do think previously he's really lacked that. But against Liverpool, he was better in that sense. And today he was also better. We saw it in the first 5-10 minutes when he had a really nice link up with Bowen. I think that happened again with either Bowen or Fernandes, where he's now doing these little one-touch passes. He's kind of getting up to the speed of things. And he looks like a really good purchase. And yeah, I hope he's not injured because we are absolutely going to need him for this run-in. I thought the changes today were interesting. It was obviously Mavropanos out, Todibo in. I'm a huge fan of Todibo. I kind of always had been. And I thought that he was fantastic today. He, when he's on his game, looks like a real top defender. He covers ground so quickly. Bloke's got the longest legs. And he covers so much ground so quickly. If a ball is put into the channel, even the channel that isn't on his side, the opposite channel, he can get there before the forward can. And he's so strong when he's there as well that he can hold the forward off. And then after all of that, he's also very good on the ball. He, on his day, is a top centre-back. He's just unfortunately got the odd quite big mistake in him because other than that, he's got every attribute you'd need to be a good centre-back. And he showed that today. I thought he was fantastic. One other player who I thought should have got man of the match was Mads Hermansen. What a performance he had. He only had a couple of things to do, really. At the end of the first half, the save from Josh King, he'd have seen that so late, and he made that save incredibly well, stuck his leg out to put that out for a corner. But then at the end, the save from Castan from that corner, I don't know how he's made that save. He could barely see the ball. That's gone through bodies, quite a lot of bodies. Obviously, loads of bodies are there from the corner that happened previously. And the ball's come at him so quick, he's made an unbelievable save. For me, he was the man of the match today. I think he should have got the man of the match for sure, because he genuinely kept us in this game. The clean sheet, he deserved it so much. He had a fantastic performance. I hated the sub though. I hated Wilson coming off when he did. And it turns out that Magassa came on and was really good. We'll get into him. But I hated the timing of that sub. I mean, we know that Wilson isn't going to play 90 minutes. We know he will most likely come off around 60 or 70. And I think he came off at exactly the 60th minute. But I just hated it because for the last 5-10 minutes before he came off, we were so on top. And he was a big part of that. There was a time when he picked up the ball deep, played it to Bowen, got forward, missed the chance. But then after that, he nearly got on the end of that ball from Summerville that I mentioned. We were just on top for 5 or 10 minutes. And he was a massive part why we were on top. However, Magassa came on, and I thought defensively he was fantastic. He put his foot in everywhere that he needed to. He didn't let anybody get past him. I thought he was absolutely brilliant, to be fair to him. The tactics, I thought in the first half were really odd. I think Robbie Savage mentioned it on commentary as well. Very odd that we essentially didn't want to play the ball in the middle of the field. We didn't want to get the ball on the ground and pass it around. We just wanted to basically smack it up top to Wilson or Taty. I guess that's kind of a byproduct of playing two up top, even though they're not the biggest blokes compared to the defenders as well, Diop and Bassi, who are absolute beasts. I'm not sure that was ever going to work, but then it was almost like we'd pump the ball up top, not win it, and barely even try to win it, but then press really aggressively to try and win the ball back high up the pitch, which I didn't mind. It worked a few times, to be honest. When it didn't work, they could cut through us quite easily. But I do like the fact that he did start with Wilson over Magassa in this game where we needed to be more attacking. We saw against Bournemouth that we needed to, at some point in the game, be more attacking. And granted, it didn't really happen in the first half, most of the time that Wilson was on. But at the start of the second half, we really did see it. And that's the type of football we need to play. The type at the start of the second half when Wilson was on the pitch. The other points to touch on, I guess, the penalty shout at the end, Hermansen on Muniz, I think it was. I don't think there was a lot in that. I do think Hermansen got the ball. He was a bit lucky, though, that he did get the ball, because if he didn't, then that could have been really bad. Another thing which annoyed me at the time as well, because it was just after, or not just after, but it was after the Iwobi Handball, was Mateus Fernandes, his potential second yellow card. I did not understand it at all. Robbie Savage was saying he was unlucky to not get a second yellow card when Josh King was driving forward with the ball and Fernandes gets his body in the way, and then Josh King kicks Fernandes, and all of the Fulham players, Marco Silva, was going mental about it. It's a foul the other way round. It's exactly the same as the Taty one, the penalty that got given and then retracted. There is no difference between the two of them, yet the commentary was making out that the first one should have been, or it was lucky to not be, another yellow for Fernandes, whereas the second one was quite a clear foul on Taty. To me, they were exactly the same situation, and I don't get why they weren't treated as the same situation. But luckily, they got to the right decision for the penalty that was not given against us in the end, because that would have been a horrible decision. A horrible decision. But yeah, huge 3 points. We absolutely needed those 3 points, because our next game, obviously Man City, we'll do well to get anything from them. I mean, Forest obviously did get a point. I would take a point against City right now. I would love a point when we play against City. That's a huge result from Forest. And this puts huge pressure on Spurs tomorrow night. Massive pressure. It should be a game they can win. Palace haven't looked great recently, but they absolutely need to win now, because they're just 1 point. 1 point we are behind them, us and Forest. If they lose, could be trouble. I'd love nothing more than for Spurs to go down. So let's hope that tomorrow evening Palace can do us an absolute favour. But for now, that's all. If you like the video, make sure you hit like, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.